Hello and welcome to what's new in Microsoft 365 and Copilot for May 2025. If you don't want to wait a month for the updates, go and check out the socials. I quite often have daily updates going out. Do a search for Super Simple 365 and you should be able to find me. Okay, so we've got updates for Copilot, OneDrive, Outlook, SharePoint Teams, and a couple from around 365. So I have about 30 slides for you. Actually a few more, but there's many more things over on the blog, so go and have a look at the video notes, and there's a link to the blog over there. There's loads to read over there, so go and check that out. If you want this slide deck, as I said, I think there's well over 30 slides. If you were to do this yourself, maybe for work, half an hour slide might take a couple of days, maybe 3 days to get this done. So if you want to buy it, go and check out the video notes. And you can hop over and you can buy this slide deck if you want to. Should save you plenty of time. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start talking about Copilot. So reference a Teams meeting when creating a presentation with Copilot. So look at the screen here. So we're in Copilot, we're creating a presentation / and we normally talk about files, don't we? But we can actually now link into a Teams meeting. So let's say you've had a meeting about a presentation that you want to do. Think about the head start that would give you. So you've had this meeting, we want a presentation about this, you've covered all the topics. Now you can go into PowerPoint and get it to create a presentation based on that. Very nice. Folks, June, July to mid-August. And now we've got create a presentation with Copilot from the PowerPoint backstage view. This is just a quick quality of life change. So we've gone into PowerPoint, and look at this, straight away, create with Copilot. It just saves us having to go into PowerPoint and then either over on the right or in the draft box at the top. Just a couple of clicks quicker, right? So due mid to late June, just a nice little change. Now, reference up to 5 files when creating a PowerPoint presentation. So in the past, let's zoom in on this a little bit. So you can see here, you can see here that we do a / and we can reference a file to describe what we'd like to create. So now we can look at the slight change in wording actually. Describe the presentation I'd like to create and reference up to 5 files. So it might be that you just pulling together a few pieces of work, and I think that'd be quite nice. So just remember. So I was running a workshop last week on this, and people were. One of the exercises is that we get people to create presentation based on a Word document. And just remember that in the / you'll see your recent history of the documents you've opened. So if you want to use that, very quickly go and open the document and then close it and then it will show up. Or remember that you can just copy the link or open it in the browser, get the URL, so whichever way you want to get the link, and you can just paste the link in and it resolves in like a second and you can see what the file name. Anyway, mid-June to early July for that one. Sharing with a Copilot summary now supports more file types. So this exists at the moment in its current form. So on the screen here, you can see that I am sharing a file with a colleague, and I can see that there's a Copilot icon here. So add a message. So I could say, "Hey Bob, here's the thing that I've asked you to do. Go and have a look at this." Or I want to be a bit more helpful. I click on the Copilot icon, and you can see that it says insert a file summary with Copilot. So it's going to look at the document, it's going to create a summary for Bob. Maybe I'm sharing this with an exec team and their time is valuable. Not all our time is valuable, but it's a good group to use, isn't it? And maybe that they want to just have a quick summary of the contents before they decide if they need to go and have a look at all the contents initially. Maybe they just need a quick overview, and then they'll maybe go and have a look. Anyway, let's click this button, insert file summary with Copilot, and there you go. This presentation highlights the latest updates in Microsoft 365 and Copilot, including blah, 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 blah. So based on that, you know whether you need to read it straight away, don't you? So that is get extended to more file types, including PowerPoint for the web, Excel, PDF, Excel web, PDF, images, and text files. So even if you don't like the fact that you're not interested in the new changes, I think that's worth you just reminding yourself that you can do it, because it's quite a nice feature. Oh, includes files labelled as protected and confidential as well. Due mid-May to mid-June, so that's any time now when you're watching this. Let's have some bite-sized updates. Microsoft 365 Copilot. Users can search Copilot chat sessions. You'll see this if you've got the new interface. So you'll know that I talked to you last month about the change. So we had in the old view we have the agents down the right hand side, don't we? Then moving over to the left, interface is changing slightly, but along with that is the ability, when you click on all conversations, you get this box here to search your conversations. Previously you had to scroll, didn't you? And it's great because you could scroll all the way, down into last year. But the fact that you can search for your previous conversations, and don't forget when you click on them, you don't just see the prompt, you see the whole exchange that you had. Super useful. Due late to early June. Copilot pages, just a quick one here. The new file extension is changing from .loop to .page. And icons getting updated. June to late July for that. Copilot gets better grounding. I apologise for this screenshot, folks. It's the best one I had, and it's making my eyes go funny. I tried to get a new one. When you're looking searching for files, you've just got this option here just to filter by file type. So you just got if you're looking just through your PowerPoint presentations, then you can filter just by those or by Word, and you'll be familiar with this filter option from other parts of 365. Anyway, mid-June to mid-July. Scheduled prompts are running late as well, coming to Copilot late May to early June, so anytime now for you. Now, just a reminder that this icon means that it's a little bit further out. These are from the 365 roadmap. Reference an Excel file when creating a presentation in Copilot for PowerPoint. So think about the previous thing that we talked about. It might be that we've got a Word document we want to reference. We've got some Excel we want to reference, and we want to create a presentation based on that. So you can now reference those Excel files in PowerPoint as well. Okay, so just a quick shout out for something I'm doing tomorrow. So not a lot of notice, if I'm honest. But if you miss it, then I'll make sure there's a link in the notes to the recording. So it's a webinar I'm doing with the Inform team, and we're talking about the kind of move to more passive type features, no prompt features in Copilot. What about your exec team who aren't engaging with Copilot? Maybe you've got a group of users that just aren't getting on with prompts and they're just scared to use it, or maybe someone's joined your organization and they've missed your rollout of Copilot. A really nice way to get those people back on board is with the more passive ways of using Copilot. So all the things that it will do with just one click or maybe even no clicks. So I'm going to recommend that you focus on a whole set of features. I'll go through them as well and show you what they are. And then we're going to talk about the way you can re-engage those groups. Check that out. Sign up. Come live if you can. It's free. You might get an email follow-up, but just if that's not for you, then you can just unsubscribe anytime you like. But come and check it out. I think it's going to be a really good half an hour. Okay, let's see what's new in OneDrive. So we've got the ability to use a new table of contents pane to navigate around a PDF. So let's assume that this PDF has already got a table of contents, that it needs it because it needs to reference it. But you're going to get this pane on the left-hand side. What this means is that I can navigate up and down, but I can see the pane the whole time. Whoops. So it means I can navigate around, I keep this open, and I can jump around my document without having to go back up to the top to see the table of contents. Mid-June to early July, and it has to have that table of contents to start with. It needs to reference something, right? But I really like that change. Now, OneDrive will soon get a new export to PDF or as PDF feature. So you can see here on the screen, we've got a file, clicked on the three little dots, so we've got this new option here to export as a PDF. The resulting document will be saved in the same location as the parent file, the file that you're creating this PDF of. So think about maybe you share PowerPoint presentations and you want to share them as a PDF. So instead of having to go into it, it's just a little bit quicker to get that done. Quite a nice little change. Mid-May to mid-June. Oops, that was it for OneDrive. That caught me out a little bit. Okay. Let's look at what's new in Outlook. So custom sounds for mail and calendar coming to new Outlook. And you can see here that we've got options. I've only got one option on the screen, but you can probably guess if you scroll up and down, you'll see the options to set custom sounds for new mail, mail reactions, and that's when people give your email a thumbs up or a smiley face, just some sort of acknowledgement, and calendar notifications and reminders. You can see here, I've come in here. I've got the notifications on, and I can change it so I've got a different sound for each one. Applies to new Outlook for Windows, which is getting better all the time, by the way, folks. Late June to late July for that one. Okay, this looks brilliant. Summarize Outlook email attachments with Copilot. So you can see on the screen here that we've got a regular, just quick overview, quick summary by Copilot of this email that we're looking at here, and we have the option to summarize the attachments as well. And what's great about this is that you don't have to open the attachment. You don't have to open the attachments to get a summary. Then Copilot will look into the attachment and draw the summary out without you even having to look at it. So think about it from a time-saving point of view. You've received a lot of emails. You get a quick summary. That's great. You see it's got some attachments, and you ask it just to give you a summary of the attachments. I think it's brilliant. And really looking forward to this. You can see PDF, Word, and PowerPoint attachments are supported, due mid-May to late July. So think about the previous topic I talked about, showing these types of things to your reluctant co-piloters. These type focus on these features, and they'll see the value instantly. And if you were trying to do like a proof of value with for your organization, even things like this, without people learning how to prompt, I think this whole wave, this whole new wave of features is really going to open Copilot up to people. Mid-May to late July. Some bite-sized updates. So you can see this clock here. The clock tells you that this is delayed by some period of time. Users can set custom account descriptions in new Outlook. It might be you have multiple accounts for whatever reason, and you want to just give them different names so they're easier for you to identify. New Outlook for Windows and Web, jump to a message in the message list. This is early May to mid-June. So you can see here that I'm filtering, and I just want to jump to, say, to Tracy, and I can just jump down to that person's emails or whatever it is I'm filtering on at the time. Draft Copilot, highlight and rewrite coming to classic Outlook for Windows. So it's interesting that they're still putting time and money, as in Microsoft, putting time and money into classic Outlook. I guess it's because maybe the move from classic Outlook to new Outlook is a little bit slow, and they want people using Copilot. They want to make it easier for organizations to justify the amount they have to pay per month. Anyway, if you're still using classic and you're a Copilot user, look out for a couple of changes actually coming late July to late August. Updated behavior for switching back from new Outlook to classic Outlook. This is in July. So this is essentially when you try new Outlook and you, for whatever reason, you decide you want to go back to classic, it's going to give you the option of having them both open. So you can have them both open. So it's not one or the other. So you can have both. So if you like some of the features, because so many new features have come to new Outlook and Web, which make it worth you having a look at them. But it might be that you still get on better with classic. Have them both open. Look out for that in July. Okay, some more quick ones here. Remember this icon here just tells you this is out in the future somewhere. Copilot chat in a sidebar for classic Outlook for Windows. So we've got the rewrite in the middle of Outlook, and then we've got the sidebar in classic Outlook due July as well. So it's interesting that they're still pushing features in classic. Summarize email attachments with Copilot in classic Outlook. So I talked about that in new not long ago. So that's coming in July. So that's a bit of parity coming to Copilot in new and old Outlook. Copilot suggests how you should respond to meeting requests. So that's interesting. So I don't know how this is going to look. Is it going to? Will it know? I don't know. If we've got a meeting about the XYZ project, and I've got some tasks for the XYZ project, and I've got loads of chats about the XYZ project, well, would it suggest that I would it suggest that I go based on that, or will it know that I've got loads of outstanding tasks? I can't wait to see what it's going to do. So due July, but we'll see, because obviously these ones bit flaky, aren't they? These ones from the roadmap. So July or sometime afterwards. Microsoft are retiring the sports calendar feature. I don't know anyone who uses this, but I'm just going to pop that in there just in case that applies to you. Early to mid-June. Okay, let's see what's new in SharePoint. Apply a watermark to PDFs in SharePoint and OneDrive. So you should be able to add either text or an image. You can see on the screen here that I've clicked on watermark, and now I can navigate the text options. I've got formatting options here. I can do the transparency. I can change the position. I can decide what page is going to go on, and similar options there for the image as well. Few bits just to be aware of with that. Go and have a look at the blog post. There's a point that I actually responded to Microsoft and asked for clarification on it. I'm sure it'll come, but it said that users can easily remove these watermarks. Now I've asked them, what does users mean? Is users you because you're the person that created it, or is it other people with edit rights, or is it just anybody? So it'd be interesting to see the scope of that. I know we'd find out with just 2 seconds of playing with it, but just in my head, I just have that loose end, and I just wanted to just share that loose end with you. And if you know the answer, maybe respond in the notes, folks. Due mid-June to early July. A new SharePoint web part is coming for FAQs, powered by M365 Copilot. A new web part for FAQs will automatically create your FAQs for you. So I've got this web part in SharePoint, and I've got a new document, a document policy, great big HR policy, and I can point Copilot at this FAQ, at this document, and produce the frequently asked questions for it based on the contents of the document. Now, a Copilot license is required for you to create it, but it's not required for everybody to use it. So I think that's quite nice. Folks, late June to early July for that one. Microsoft is retiring the SharePoint alerts feature. I don't know what to say about this. I didn't know this was on its way out. This was a bit of a shock to me, if I'm honest, because I really like this feature, and I tell people about it when there's documents they want to keep track of or things they want to keep an eye on. And you might recognize this. Maybe I'm showing how long I've been using SharePoint for by the fact that I like this feature so much. Anyway, it's been retired. Microsoft is suggesting it use Power Automate or SharePoint rules instead. Now, I know organizations that don't let almost any of their staff use Power Automate, so be interesting to see how people respond to this one. Owners of existing alerts are affected from October. So there's a timeline on the blog. Go look at the blog post. There's a timeline on the blog post about when things are happening, about when you'll be notified, when you can't create new ones, and when people with existing alerts start to get affected. October for that. But the phased retirement is from July this year to July 2026. Page Analytics in SharePoint is getting some really good updates, but there's a catch at the end for you to be aware of. Okay, so the update includes going back not just 7, 30, 7, 30 and 90, I think. Is it 30 right? 31 maybe? Anyway, so it's going back to 365 days. A breakdown by distribution channel. You see it on the screen now. Other metrics, and there's loads more, by the way. Go check out the blog. There's loads more. I'm just highlighting the ones that look nice on a slide here. You can export data easily, or there's options that it really is the option to copy the charts. Look at that. Look at this actually. Copy as image. It's super easy. New posts only initially, but it looks like it will be retrofitted. But this is for people who've got a license for the Microsoft Viva Suite and the Microsoft Viva Employee Communications and Communities license. Anyway, it'd be great to see if this got rolled out a bit more, because it gets harder and harder to know who can access what. There's a gazillion features, aren't there? And there's so many different licenses, and keeping track of what people can do. Anyway, early to late July. SharePoint is getting a new template gallery and 50 new templates. So a couple of things. You're soon going to have this new centralized, centralized template gallery And you see here that this is for pages. And you've got your saved on this site, your custom templates, and those from Microsoft. Now it's interesting. Now look at this. I think about the SharePoint is typically used in this sort of publishing is typically used in organizations. And all the organizations I know have got pretty strict rules around branding and the way things look. I don't know. I'm trying to think any of the. I typically work with large organizations, and I don't know any that would be okay with people using these out of the box templates. Maybe if you're a smaller organization, I don't know. But do you know what? It'd be interesting if I'm missing something with that last point, those out of the box things, then pop something in the notes. Due early to late July. I guess the thing is that the main thing maybe is a gallery, and you got your custom templates in there. Maybe, don't know. I'm not sure. It reads great, this update. I'll be interested to see in reality how widely used it is. Okay, some bite-sized. Ground your M365 Copilot prompts in SharePoint and OneDrive. So it's just getting easier to refer to just one site or just something in OneDrive, because maybe you want to laser focus your prompt on that. So that was great. Protect PDFs with passwords on OneDrive for the web and SharePoint. This is interesting as well. So I presented this all last month, and this is delayed. I told you about this last month, but I just want to talk about people's response to it. I don't know any organisation that is happy with people, especially in anything that's shared, password protecting or encrypting with a password. I see on the screen there. Anything that's in SharePoint, and I'm trying to think of the 5 or 6 times I presented it. I don't think a single example came out, because we often talk about about what these mean to people. I don't think there wasn't a single example of when it was good. So I've been talking about this as a reminder in those organisations. Here's something that you shouldn't do if you see the option. Anyway, another delay. New PDF compression feature coming to SharePoint and OneDrive. This is interesting, actually. Some people love this, because based on the work, the amount of PDFs they have, maybe as part of an archiving process that they have. Some people loved it. Other people were like, no. Anyway, regardless of where you sit on it, it's not coming until July or into early August. Okay, let's see what's new in Microsoft Teams for this month. Pop out your core Teams apps into a new window. I really like this, because how often are you working on something in one of the, like in Teams or the calendar, and you have to pop something else, and then you have to find your way back to where you were. Imagine that you can just click on or right click on the app in the app bar and open out a new window. So you can pop them out, especially if you've got multiple screens. How helpful is that going to be? I just love that. Also, look on the screen. Even easier now to move them up and down. I know you can drag them, but it's a bit clunky. But moving them up and down, that just looks quite nice as well. Folks, early to mid-July, just a small change, but a quality of life change that I personally am really looking forward to. Chat gets last read and newest jump buttons and the customizable default settings. So you've gone to your chat, and you can see that you've got some unread chats on the left-hand side. It's in bold. You click on it, and where do you get taken to in that chat? Well, when you go into at the moment, when you go into the last read, let's go back one actually. So you go into last read, you then get the option. That's the default, the one that whatever you read last, and you can then jump to the newest. If you've changed that, and I'll show you where to change it in a second, then if you just you always go to the newest, which will be kind of, I'm trying to think, that's kind of, it's going to be out of sync, isn't it? Because if you read the newest, you won't know what's been said before it. Anyway, so in my head, it makes sense to go to the last one you read, and then you can start with all the new ones and work forward. But anyway, that's not how your mind works. That's fine. And you can jump to last read there. Now, in the settings, you can go in here, and you can say when you click on the icon to go into a chat that's got unread chats, you can decide where it jumps to, and you can move around if you want to. Folks, mid to late June. Add multiple emoji reactions to chat and channel messages. So you'll soon be able to add multiple emoji reactions to a chat. And you can see here that Sasha really likes this post. And Sasha's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 reactions. Sasha really likes this thing. So you get this more button. So let's have a slightly different view, and you can see here. So I've added my my reaction, and I can add more. Microsoft is saying to maintain clarity and prevent clutter, they're limited to just 20 reactions per person per message. I think 20 feels like a lot, and I know an organisation that isn't super keen on emojis, they're going to love this or not. Anyway, looks like fun, but I think 20 does sound like a lot. Due mid to late June this year. Now let's get a bit more serious. Teams is getting a network strength indicator. So you can see here, let's zoom in and we can see that it's just showing you how strong the network is. Normally you don't find out until it's too late, do you? And then you're just fine. You think everything's fine. Someone says your video's a bit distorted, or you get a pop-up message. Well, you'll be able to see before anything goes wrong. So 1 bar is bad, 2 bars is says poor. Well, I'm gonna go for average, and 3 bars is good. And look at this. It's giving you a tip where you can have a look at it, and it's giving you suggestions, to turn off your camera, maybe move a bit closer to the router or go wired, and it's like your connection's good to turn on your video. And you can look at other people's as well, so you can work out whether it's you or it's them. How many times you've heard that in a meeting? It's like, is it just me? But you can, if you're getting a bad if the connection looks bad, you can work out whether it's you or the person presenting. I think that's going to be really good, actually. It's just ironing out one of those little kinks in a meeting where that comes up. Late June to mid-July this year. Okay, so meeting audio overview. We'll summarise key topics from multiple meetings. So, I'm talking about, I've been talking about this a little while now, the no prompt Copilot. Here's another example of that. So just key. Look at this. This isn't in the calendar app. It's in the Meet app. Underrated app, I think, and underused. So if you're not sure about it, go and check on your 3 little dots. Do a search for Meet. Maybe pin it. Explore in there because you get loads of information about your meetings in there. Anyway, we're getting these new tabs across the top. One of them is audio overviews, and I can say, how do I want this audio overview to come to me? Okay, so I want meetings in, let's zoom in this time period. I want 1 or 2 hosts. So you might see this theme of this podcast style is getting all over the place in 365. And what style, how serious do I want them to be in the way they're talking about it or speaking it back to me. And look at this. I can select down the right-hand side. I can select meetings. And it might be that I need to multitask. Maybe I'm super busy. I need to grab some lunch, but I just want to catch up on these meetings. So I've got a laptop on the side, preparing myself some lunch or doing whatever. And then it will read them out in this nice conversational style. I think this is just fabulous. And I think this whole, from an accessibility and usability point of view as well as multitasking, I just think this whole new wave of features to include the different groups and make life a bit easier, I just love. Late June to mid-July in the Meet app. So if you're trying to remember where that is, remember there's an app called Meet, and you'll go and find it in there. Okay, some quick bites. So this tick here, we don't see many of these because normally I'm talking about things that's happening in the future. The Discover feed will only be shown to users with more than 5 channels. So I guess if you're not showing many channels, it doesn't need to look after you and draw that stuff in, right? So if you've got more than 5 channels, you've got Discovery feed, you click on it and it just gives you like an overview of what's been happening around you. If you do or do not like that, and maybe you want it or you don't want it, go over to your team settings and you'll find it in there. Okay, so something coming soon. Video clips recording limit increased from 1 minute to 5 minutes. So I really like the recorded clips. Maybe in a chat or a channel, maybe, I don't know, if you're a manager and you're welcoming someone back to work, I mean, how nice would it be to, instead of typing them a note, you do a quick video clip and you say, hey Bob, welcome back, hope everything's okay. No rush, get yourself settled in, do what you got to do, and then give me a shout when you're ready. So just nice. Or you're just checking on somebody. Maybe you've got colleagues who work remotely and they live on their own or they're isolated. Then these video clips are a lovely way to keep in touch with people. So make sure you use them. Anyway, back to this update. It used to be 60 seconds and now it's 5 minutes. I'm not sure that some organizations might not like what that does to storage and Exchange if you're prolific users of it, but most people aren't. Anyway, should be here by late June. And another thing that's coming, set ringtones in Teams mobile, so you can just change your ringtones in the mobile version of Teams if you want to mid-June. A delay, pop out live captions and real-time text in Teams meetings. So I spoke about this last month. Really like this pop-out feature. So I've been doing some Copilot training that Microsoft have been providing, and one of the sessions was 6 hours. Then I had another time I had over three days. I had 3 4-hour sessions. That's a long time to focus, isn't it? So I like to turn on the live captions. This new feature means you can pop it out. You can put it where you want on your screen. Really helps you focus on what the person's saying. Obviously, it's good for accessibility. It's just good for focus. Makes it much easier. This real-time text. Remember that is just so people can see. You see each letter as they're being typed. I'd hate that if I'm honest. I can't type and I can't spell. So that's going to that would be a terrible experience for you. Anyway, the ability to pop both of those out mid to late June. Okay, so what else we got? Microsoft Copilot to analyze contents shared on screen. So you can ask it. You can ask it about things that have been shared on screen during a meeting. If that's new to you, then go and have a read of the blog. Rolling out already, should be completely done by early June. Files tab in Teams channels getting renamed to shared and gets new capabilities. So a bit like the Files tab in the group chats got renamed shared, and it gets the ability to show links that are shared and other changes. That change is coming to channels. Make sure you're aware of this, especially if you're responsible for the digital well-being of your colleagues around you. Due mid-July to mid-August. 365 Copilot, search for and select Teams chats in Context IQ. That's just a box that you're filling in. You just when you forward slash and you're asking Copilot to do something. Early to late June. So this month, it just means that I can reference chats that I've had if I want to ask about them and or produce something from those. The telescope. These are further out. Details are sketchy. Data sketchy. Copilot Teams meetings can search the web and work files and emails and people. So you're in a meeting and you're asking Copilot about something. It just means that it can reference other things for context. You might, I don't know. I'm guessing now because I haven't used it and there's not a lot of detail. But I can say in this meeting maybe we talk about the XYZ project, and I've already got a document on the XYZ project. I'm guessing I could say to it. Based on the things that we're covering, have we covered everything in a so-and-so document? And it said, oh no, you haven't covered blah, 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 blah. That's what I think it might do, that type of thing. That's just a simple thing off the top of my head, but I guess that's what we're going to get. Okay, countdown timer for Teams meetings. How cool is this? So you're the organizer, and you can set a timer in there, and you can reset it so that presenters know when they're running out of time. I love that, especially for great big all hands where you got multiple speakers, and you know that some people are going to run over. This is epic. Sometime in July, maybe. Custom dictionary, maybe in your organization. This is for the admins. Maybe in your organization, you've got very technical language or acronyms or abbreviations, so you can set that up. How good is that going to be for Teams? And I'm guessing, it'd be interesting to see actually. I'm guessing, will that be go beyond Teams into the rest of 365? I don't know. Anyway. Admins, go and look at that if you've got a very technical organization. Threads in channels, how exciting is this? So it might be that we've got a channel, we're going on, and if someone says something, and I don't want to then put my comments at the bottom. We want like this nested thread because we've just got this little offshoot, and maybe we should try to stay on topic, but sometimes we don't, right? So we just got this thread. I don't know how it's going to look. Someone asked me a question on social media, and I straight up don't know. But very exciting. I'll tell you more about that hopefully next month. Enhanced meeting protection, prevent screen capture. So you're showing stuff on your screen and it just stops people from taking screenshots of your screen. I work with lots of organizations who would like this. I'm hoping that it's not Teams Premium and it's just a regular feature. But we'll see. It says due in June. I can't be honest, I bet it'll be later, but I'll tell you more about that soon. Okay, let's see what's happening around Microsoft 365. Copilot generate audio overviews of documents, meetings, and files. So you're seeing a version of this appear in lots of places now, where we've got this audio overview. So we've got one person. We can choose one person or two people. In fact, let me zoom in down here. So we got one person just talking to you, or two people discussing it. The style. How detailed do you want it to be? And you can see here that we're looking at something, and we've simply said generate an audio overview for this document, and then that kicks off this player, and then I can click on the three little dots, then I can configure it. Now, I know that includes a prompt, but there's lots of places where if you go to your go to your OneDrive. And look at your files. There's an option in there. You got your overviews of your meetings. This is surfacing everywhere. Really nice from accessibility and from a multitasking point of view. Really nice feature. May to June 2025, but it will vary by app. There's a whole list of different dates. You can see. Look at that first point up there. It's surfacing in lots of places and in different styles. Okay, Copilot in Word to fix all spelling and grammar. So very quickly, you see here that we've selected all text, clicked on Copilot, and the option is there to fix all spelling and grammar issues. I think that'd be really good. Just let's assume that you got the right language and you're happy with the way it does it. You still double check it afterwards in case it does something nuts. Due mid-May to mid-June. Just a really nice, no prompting, just another way that Copilot is getting more and more helpful. No prompting, it's just helping you. This new wave is brilliant. Okay, folks, that brings us to the end of our time together this month. Remember that you can keep up on all of the socials to search for Super Simple 365. Hopefully that was helpful. Look forward to the next session next month. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.